Welcome to Who's In, where we predict the starting 11 for the biggest World Cup nations. In this series, we're looking at France, Germany, Spain, Argentina, Portugal and Brazil. But today we start at the team that last won the World Cup in 1966, England. So stay tuned to see some surprises in our lineup. Let's find out who's in. Our formation for England is 4-3-3, so let's check out that starting 11. Goalkeeper. This may well be the hardest choice Southgate will have to make. There isn't a single English goalkeeper playing at a top 6 Premiership club. So it's not as easy as choosing Joe Hart when he was Manchester City's #1. Hart is now playing at West Ham and having a pretty bad season, so there's a chance that Burnley's Nick Pope could have taken the England #1 spot, but Stoke's Jack Butland is currently the most consistent keeper England has to offer, so Butland is our #1. At left back, England could give an outside shot to Fulham's Ryan Sessegnon. He's only 17, but he scored 17 goals and has 4 assists this season. But he's playing in the Championship and maybe he's too young. England don't want another Theo Walcott type selection, a player that goes to the World Cup but doesn't play a single game. So it looks like it'll be a battle between maybe Southampton's Ryan Bertrand and United's Ashley Young. Young is a winger turned left back and has had another solid season with United, whereas Bertrand's Southampton have been struggling in recent games, but they have turned it around to reach the semi-final of the FA Cup. But has he really been a standout player? However, neither players looked irreplaceable, so that means Spurs defender Danny Rose is still the man to beat. He looks like the best left back in the country despite his lack of games for Spurs. At centre-back, Gary Cahill used to put in solid performances for Chelsea and England. However, Cahill has been inconsistent this season, whereas former champions Leicester have a defender that is touted to be the next big English defensive transfer. Harry Maguire has been catching the attention of the big Premiership clubs due to his consistent displays at still a fairly young age. However, if England want to build for the future, they need to pick a player that's being coached by the best manager with the brightest future. Plus, this player's ability on the ball will suit the type of football Gareth Southgate wants to play. So our pick is Manchester City's John Stones. Under the tutelage of Guardiola, Stones can only get better and better. Next to Stones, we could pair him with someone from the other half of Manchester. Chris Smalling is another player that's been fighting for an England place, or even Liverpool's Joe Gomez has been quite solid in recent weeks. But we think Phil Jones has been the most solid performer out of the three, and he is more experienced than Maguire, Gomez and Smalling, so Phil Jones is our pick. The right back position could go to Kieran Trippier or Nathaniel Klein. Both are playing good seasons. However, much like John Stones, there's a player that's playing in the best team in the Premiership and is arguably at times the best team in Europe. He's proven himself since his move to City. He's arguably the best right back in the Premiership and is certainly one of the few guaranteed starters for England. So our pick has to be Kyle Walker. England have always had a wealth of centre midfielders, but in recent years the challenge has gone from choosing between some of the best midfielders in the world, i.e. Scholes, Lampard and Gerrard, to choosing between midfielders with up-and-coming talent and lots of potential. To protect the defence, England have always needed a quality defensive/holding midfielder. There was a hope that Fabian Delph would be that player, but this season at City has been used more as a makeshift left-back than a trusted midfielder. So the standout English defensive midfielder has to be Eric Dyer, whose consistency and constant play for Spurs means that he's the man to defend England's attack. The next selection headache is between Jack Wilshere, Jake Livermore and Dele Alli. Wilshere's only just got himself back into regular football for Arsenal, but Roy Keane recently described Wilshere as the most overrated midfielder in the world. That's a burn. Jake Livermore has made it into the England squad friendlies despite West Brom's performances being poor in recent games. So right now he doesn't look like the player to give England's midfield that world-class shine. So our pick is Spurs' Dele Alli. Despite recent criticism about his diving, Alli is still one of the best young midfielders in the world and certainly one of England's biggest future hopes. England could play a midfield of just Tottenham Hotspur's players. Spurs midfielder Harry Winks has been looking like a player for the future. The World Cup could be a great opportunity for him to show his potential. However, Liverpool's Oxlade-Chamberlain has excelled since leaving Arsenal, but he still isn't a guaranteed starter for Liverpool. Thus, although he may not be the most technically brilliant midfielder in the world, but his leadership qualities will be worth their weight in gold. So our pick is actually Jordan Henderson. Up front, now for England's front three. England have always had an abundance of attacking options throughout the years, from Keegan, Lineker, Shearer, Owen and Rooney, but it's time for a new generation to prove their worth. On the left side, Adam Lallana started to show his quality and Klopp thinks England should be playing him more. However, there's a player who's been pretty consistent and he's an exciting young player that could be the future of Manchester United and England. That player is Marcus Rashford. Not only can he get assists, he can also be dynamite in front of goal. So our pick is United's Marcus Rashford. On the right, we could have another United player. Jesse Lingard has been coming off the bench and scoring goals for fun for United. He's exciting and imaginative when he has the ball. However, as I said, he isn't a starter for United, so can he really be a starter for England? Another option could be a rejuvenated Theo Walcott. In my opinion, Arsenal should have kept Walcott and sent Alex Iwobi out on loan, as Walcott has scored goals and got assists since he joined Everton. However, maybe the drop down the league means a drop down in his ability to get picked. So that means Manchester City are top of the league due to great performances, but also the goals, creativity and attacking threat from the informed Raheem Sterling. So Sterling has to be our man. Before we get to our last player, remember to download the Onefootball app from our bio, as it will keep you up to date with all the world's football stories about the teams that you support. Up front, England have options in Leicester's Jamie Vardy, who can be proud of going from non-league football to a potential England starter, but let's be real, the first name on Southgate's team sheet will also probably be the man to captain England at the World Cup. That man is Tottenham Hotspur striker Harry Kane. The only question is, will he be fully fit come World Cup time? So that's our list, but we want to know yours, so make sure you comment your England lineup so we check who's correct come World Cup time. With that said, make sure you subscribe, press like, and thank you for watching. I've been Anton Allen. See you tomorrow. Peace.